Alright, so the mega hunt is over, and I'm sad to say that I do not look like a guy who's won $1 million. But what I do look like is a guy who's actually properly shaved and no longer looks like I'm the serial killer that lives next door to your grandmother. I am a normal human being now, and that means I can finally get back to my schedule. But it has been an absolutely insane, crazy event. I did not think that this would go for more than a day when I first started this. My first live stream itself was literally titled, I'm gonna live stream this until I win $1 million. So as some people so rightly pointed out, I'm probably going to be streaming forever, but I was like, no, I can't do this. In reality, streaming for 24/7 is very difficult, especially if you can't keep your money without going to work. So I needed to do that. So yeah, that's why I stopped doing that. But I wanted to come at the very end, like your dad coming back with the milk once you're all grown up. Finally, he doesn't have to worry about you being a kid. But I get to come here at the end and be like, let's talk about the event as a whole now. Now that the event's done, it's all dusted, let's talk about it. And the first thing I want to say is that I loved it. I thought it was an incredible event. Like, Roblox has let out a lot of stinkers in the past, especially that Halloween event that was just before this. Oh, poo-wee. That was a stink stain. That was awful. But this one was one of the best events I've seen in years. It was absolutely incredible. And even, like, I would say almost every single game was really, really cool. So, like, be it with the normal hunt token, which wasn't even that bad when it was even a grindy game, and the mega tokens, those things were beautiful. Oh my god, I had so much fun doing it. So I was like, we got to continue the fun because I can't go back to my daily life schedule now. I don't want to go back to work. I need the mega hunt event to keep going forever. So I've decided to make a completely black screen behind me. Why isn't it capturing my screen? There we go. I fixed it. We've got the screen cap here of a tier list made by a guy who's a big Shadow the Hedgehog fan. And hey, no free advertisements in my videos. Okay, well, there's no X, so you're gonna have to deal with that one. But we're gonna tier list all of the hunt games. And I was thinking while I was in the shower, finally after not showering for a week, no, that's a lie, I did shower. Shout out Shower Gang. Smash like and subscribe if you shower. But I realized, like, there's two kind of ratings that you could use for a game. There's the normal token, which most players are probably getting, and there's the mega token, which only the hardcore game players are getting. So I was like, okay, well, how am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do two separate tier lists? No, I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna combine the two and just see overall how the game was, which I think is the fairest indicator of the hunt. It's like taking the average of both. So that's what we're gonna do. Basically, this rating is based off both the combined normal token and the mega token. And yeah, it's not biased. It's completely objective. This is 100% how it should look on anybody's tier list. And yeah, I found the X. Get rid of that. I think I clicked on the ad. Oh god, I'm getting scammed! Help! Get it out of here. Fine, I won't click X on that. But let's begin. No, don't. Fool me once, shame on me. You fool me twice, shame on me. The fake X. Okay, let's start. Great timing for my dogs to come in. Benji, Leo, I'm gonna shove your mega token into your mouths. Thank you. My real girlfriend closed the door, so hopefully we won't hear them now. But let's begin with SpongeBob Tower Defense. Now, going into SpongeBob Tower Defense, I can't drag. Why have I lost the ability to drag? This tier list gets a 0. This tier list is worse than Infection Gunfight. What? Okay, I spent an hour working out how to get ad block, and I finally did it. I've cleared the space, and I've worked out how to move these things. Turns out I suck at making tier lists, but we've got it going, and we can finally begin with SpongeBob Tower Defense. Now, SpongeBob Tower Defense was the first mega token, and it was a warning sign of things to come. And by warning sign, I mean like the sound of the ice cream truck, where it's not really a warning sign that it's gonna be bad. It's more of a warning sign that, you know, things are about to get messy. You're gonna be eating so much ice cream that you're gonna be dropping it all over your chin because it's gonna be great. And SpongeBob Tower Defense was actually, unironically, really good. It was really, really good, both for the normal token, but then, you know, these sort of tower defense games always are, because they always can make a special event with special units and all that for the thingo, for the event, although I don't know if they had any special units, but they definitely had a special tower defense map, and they had a whole little side quest with it, and there was a really cute part at the end, where it's like, oh, you gotta dance, you know, dance for the token. SpongeBob wants to see you do a little jiggle. He's like, they're cracking the whip at you, like, do the jiggle. But yeah, so it's either A tier or B tier. It's not S tier. It wasn't completely unique. But the mega token really like elevated it higher. I'm gonna put it in B tier for now. We might change that to later. But next up, we had Untitled Tag Game. Now, Untitled Tag Game, the normal token was really, really lame. It was literally just one of those games where you just do quests, and then get things and beat game. But it wasn't too bad. And also, I wanted to say, throughout this whole event, I know Roblox absolutely cracked down on the grindiness of these normal tokens. So, and that's a good thing. It made it so much better. So even the worst of these games, like Untitled Tag Game that just had some really lazy, like, oh, just, you know, do these things, blah, blah, blah. Even that wasn't too bad because it was fairly quick. So it's not that bad in general. But then the mega token took it up way higher, because the mega token for Untitled Hunt Game was absolutely amazing. Oh, it was such a cool, like, little boss fight with a race and everything. The boss fight being the race, in case you were like, oh, there was no one that you had to beat. But the question is, does it make it S tier or does it make it A tier? Because we're combining the normal tokens as well. So I've got to say, for the normal token, I've got to... That was really good. One of the top 10 endings. I'm gonna put it in S tier. I'm gonna put it in S tier for now, but it might not be the best S tier, because next up we have Pressure. And Pressure is definitely an easy, like, top S tier so far. Pressure was amazing. The normal token was literally the best part of Pressure. That was absolutely incredible. They made an entire whole shtick with it, like, I don't know if the creatures were new, to be fair. I'm not exactly a Pressure aficionado, but my god, was it a beautiful, beautiful little game of 50 floors. And then the mega token, wow. While we were doing it, we were like, oh, Pressure sucks, you know, there's no way to do any of this. They're giving us fake notes, blah, blah, blah. But to be fair, the fake notes were in out of bounds spots, which were probably placed to throw exploiters off their guard. No normal player would be able to find it. If that was meant to be the case, then it would be way, 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 way worse. But it wasn't, because everything could be found in the main lobby in normal spots. And I'm surprised that it took people so long to actually find. And then, you know, the radio, and then that final battle. Oh my god, it was just beautiful. So Pressure is more like it's peak. Yeah, so to S tier easily. And then the Hunterino. Chained Together, definitely also S tier. Chained Together was amazing. Once again, the normal token, they had an entirely new map for it, which was amazing. A really good map. And then the mega token, a whole nother map with working with other players like you're meant to in Chained as well. Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, I didn't get any glitchy bugs, I don't think, from memory. So I just thought that was really, really cool. I thought Chained Together was absolutely amazing, and they did a really good job. Rivals, for their normal token, I'm pretty sure that was just another hit people thing, right? Like another get a certain amount of quests. I don't think they had a very specific thing. I'm gonna look this up so I can verify. Yeah, okay, so if you look here, it's complete a 1v1 and eliminate 5 players in a 2v2. So it was one of those ones, again. And then the mega token. So contrary to what pretty much all of the other ones that we reviewed so far had, I didn't actually like Rivals one as much. Yeah. Rivals was a bit stinky all the way up until that final boss fight, which was absolutely, it was very cool. I loved that little boss fight with I forgot, it was like a robot type thing. That was really, really awesome. I loved that, but I really didn't like having to go into 3v3s and then having to like just shoot people and kill them to take the thing, because I don't like the tokens which rely on basically you needing to defeat other players, because it just takes so long. It's really, really boring, I found. And yeah, I didn't like that section, but I did like the idea of how a couple of the targets were a bit different. That was pretty sick. That was actually smart, and I'm surprised that I missed it in hindsight. I like the feeling that that gives me, but overall, that's gonna make me put Rivals in B tier. It was good. It didn't like make me like I wasn't hating it, but also it wasn't like wow, apart from that boss fight, but the rest of it was like a bit more mediocre. So I'm putting it at around B tier right now. It Girl, the normal token, very cool. Ish, as in not cool at all. Don't know why I said very cool, but it was not cool. It was just, I think it was win a round or something, or no, get 5 hearts and give like 20 hearts or something. Easy to do, which I'll give it that. But apart from that, nothing special, once again. So that gives it a little, like, around here. And then the Mega Hunt token was actually really good. It was very cool. It went in, you go into this little game, and then, well, not the game, but the TV, and then you're a scientist. And I'll admit, at this part, I was trying my best. Like, I was sweating, because I got stuck in the Untitled boxing game Mega Token because of a glitch for, like, honestly, half an hour while Creecraft and everyone else was going ahead. So that made me angry. So while I was in It Girl, I was angry because I couldn't get further thanks to Untitled boxing game, and everyone was way ahead of me. So that's not going to affect my rating, though. I'm a very objective man. So I will put it in A tier, because the boss fight, I liked solving the puzzles and all that, but there was nothing there that made me go, whoa, whoa, like didn't explode my brain in any way. So it gets an A tier though, because the Mega Token was very unique and very special outside of the normal game. But then we have World Zero, and again, funnily enough, World Zero was actually pretty good. In the past, they've done pretty stinky mega normal tokens, because I remember that I hated World Zero for the last one. Ugh, you had to grind through the game having to get these very rare drop chance type things. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. But this one was awesome, because they had you do this whole new raid type thing. Although the raid did already exist in the game, they just like used the same skin and textures and things and put it in. But it was cool nonetheless for new players, and the cool dragon. But the Mega Token was really, really sick. I loved how you had to get the 3 gems. That was okay. But then you put in the puzzle, and then you have this big boss fight as well. That was very, very, very cool. I did like that they did that. But is it enough to be S tier? Because I feel like S tier needs to be something that completely changes up the game entirely. I'd say no to that. So I'm putting that in like top of A tier, but still really, really good. A dusty trip? This is a dusty trip, right? I'm gonna get flamed so hard if this isn't a dusty trip. Yeah, that's definitely dusty trip. Or is it drive sim? Dusty trip. It's definitely dusty trip. Dusty trip. My God. That was so good. They had their own hunt game as well. Oh, that was beautiful. So the normal tokens was you just beat that whole extra thing where you had the lumberjack, the miner, and the ice queen / guy, who I thought was a queen for the entire time, but then it was a shirtless guy. So I probably should have realized that it wasn't a girl when they were shirtless. But that was cool. And then the Mega Token as well. Oh, that was sick as well. Like the reference to their other game was amazing, but the time travel and building the portal as well, that was beautiful. Does it beat Pressure though? Is the real question. I'd put it up there, like I'd put it even with Pressure. I'd probably even put it above. I'd probably put it above. I love the ending of Pressure, though. I love that final game in Pressure. I'm putting Pressure at the top right now. Don't, please, don't hurt me. Oh, God. Oh, no, speaking of hurting me. Oh. Funnily enough, though, not the worst game. Infection Gunfight. Man, this had people saying things that would make my mother upset. I mean, to be fair, really, not that much. That's nothing crazy. Like, you could just say the F word and, you know, she wouldn't be too happy. But, like, I'm talking, it'd make 20 of my mothers upset. Like, if they're all, like, combined and they were on drugs or something so they wouldn't care about things, it would still make them upset with the things people said in the Hunt Discord about Infection Gunfight, and I can see why. My God, Infection Gunfight was horrible. Jeez, it was, you had to go into the game, you had to get the goggles. Oh, no, but before that, talking about the normal token, hold on a second, hold your horses. Even the normal token was a stinker. From memory, the normal token was just like, I've got to look it up. Yeah, you needed to get 200 score in the Infection hero game mode, yeah. So you just get it, you get 200 score, and then for the mega token, you go in, you get the goggles, and then you have to spell out Mega Hunt perfectly. And when I was doing it, I don't know if it's patched, I think they changed it now, but when I was doing it, you had to spell out the entire thing within the 5 rounds, otherwise it resets back. And that was awful. I had an entire server full of friends that were just trying to farm it, and it still took me all 5 rounds in order to do. It was sort of luck based with who had what, and it was impossible. I say impossible to do. If even like one person was trying to screw you over, you just couldn't do it in time. Now, they did change it, I believe, so that it wouldn't expire after the rounds. So that's not as bad. And I see what they were going for. But I'm going to base this based on my experience. So if it's the current player experience, it'll probably be a bit higher. But based on my experience, that's going to be F tier. That was very, very bad. Then you spell it out and then nothing else happens. Probably, honestly, if I think about it, probably one of the games with the least amount of effort put into it for the Hunt Mega Token and normal token. Like, I love what they did with the Wordle, but it just wasn't enough, man. It wasn't enough. Maybe next year, pal, if they bring you back. But then the basketball game. I was gonna say Untitled basketball game. No, it's like Basketball Legends or something. I don't know. I already forgot. But honestly, pretty cool. I actually kind of dug this one. This one for the normal token, you had to beat one poor dude in a 3v1, so felt bad for that guy. And then for the mega token, you had to find a lever in the game, pull the lever, and open up like 3 different shapes, and you had to find the colors and then score goals based on that. And then you had a final boss battle against this like actual basketball god. So I'm gonna put that at the top of B tier. So that was actually pretty fire. But again, it actually reminded me to talk about these games that you thought would be easy, like basketball and the Untitled boxing game, ended up having some really hard to find mega tokens. So props to them. I'm impressed because you could have made it something very obvious and super quick, but they actually made it kind of difficult. Pretty cool. Metro Life. Metro Life was actually really good. Honestly, like, enough to put it in A tier. They didn't do anything crazy from memory, but I just really liked that. Firstly, the normal token was cool because the normal token, they had you going on a little sightseeing thing and like, you know, taking photos. I thought that was very cute. And then the mega token, they had this whole time travel thing where you had to go around the city and help people, and then you had to decode things, then go into the middle and dig up a treasure chest on the X. I thought that was really cool, and I liked going around the map a lot. Yeah, I don't know, I just really liked it a lot more than these 3 here. But now that I think about it, it's like, was it really better than them? I'm gonna put it up top of B tier, because again, they didn't really do anything that changed the game. But oh, Hell's Kitchen, oh, Gordon Ramsay, oh man. Wait, did they even? Yeah, no, they did. It was different for the event. Well, not really. It was the same for the event. I was thinking, like, did they really have a portal to the event and they force players to go in that, but then I realized you had to talk to Gordon Ramsay first to activate it, yada, yada, yada. Oh yeah, big old Gordo here made you serve 5 exceptional quality dishes, which wasn't too bad. Playing the game, again, that puts it at a pretty average baseline. But then the Mega Quest was pretty sick. Like, I don't know why they did it. It was kind of weird, but Gordon Ramsay had a real dark, evil dungeon outside of his kitchen, which apparently he didn't know about before. And there was a guy on a laptop trying to screw him over who turned out to be a food critic. But you had to go and get 4 pieces of paper. Then you had to beat an obby in the vault. And then once you came back, you got the secret, like, Krabby Patty formula for Gordon Ramsay and make his favorite dish, like the gluttonous beast that he is. So it was kind of cool that they had the basement. Was it good enough to be up here with the A tiers? No, but I would say it's probably the top of the B tiers because they did actually put in a lot of work into it, which is very different from what I was expecting. Like, again, shout out to these games that, like SpongeBob Tower Defense and Gordon Ramsay that are just made by, like, super corporate sort of businesses actually putting a lot of love into the mega tokens. It was so cool to see. I loved that. And somehow they even got Gordon Ramsay to voice act for it. Mind you, the voice acting is not the best, but hey, having Gordon Ramsay is better than having a guy voice acting as Gordon Ramsay. Like, hey guys, I need you to get my super secret exceptional dish. Woo-wee. Yeah. Anyway, Arsenal. Oh my god, Arsenal, as always, in the S tier. I don't think Arsenal has ever messed up a tier. By the way, that's F tier for the record. Arsenal's never messed up at a hunt. My god. And, like, I knew from the start that, like, oh, there's gonna be a mega token in Arsenal, guys. I could just tell. Back when I was at the beginning of the hunt thinking that there were only gonna be, like, 4 mega tokens in it. Yeah, those were the days. And I was like, yeah, one of these games is gonna be Arsenal. So after every game, I'd go into Arsenal and have a look around to try it. Oh, that was beautiful. But yeah, Arsenal was so good. They had their own special quests for it and everything. And then the mega token was even cooler because after you hit the target, then there's a whole little mini game inside of it, which is like it turns into a turn-based RPG, which is awesome. They completely changed up the game. I really liked it. Although some people, it got soft locked in it, which is massive shame, but I didn't get soft locked, so honestly, it was a great game. Would it beat Dusty Trip and Pressure? I enjoyed those more, but that was still, like, up there. Still, like, 3rd best so far for me. Natural Disaster Survival. Wow, I was not expecting their mega token to be that interesting. Like, I thought the original creator of Natural Disaster Survival had abandoned the game, and I thought it was just dead, but they announced that they were back in, and the normal token was like, survive a disaster, blah, 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 you know, nothing crazy. But then the mega token was really cool, because you had to click in the middle thing and you go down, and then they had these little, like, boards, and you could have mini disasters happening on them. Like, you're a god and you're destroying the world, and you had to go in and talk to the guy for each disaster. That was cool. But the one thing that held this one back is the fact that it was actually kind of luck-based. You needed to be lucky enough to land on the right map. And yet you could buy a compass for Robux, but anything that requires Robux, I'm not counting because you shouldn't count that. You shouldn't be required to buy Robux in order to do it. So you basically had to beg for the map to be in the right area, which not a fan of. I don't like that at all. So I'm probably putting it at the bottom of B tier, if not... I've probably got to put that in C tier. I did love it. I thought it was very cool, but that RNG-ness of it, I didn't like it. That part. But yeah, and the normal token was pretty mid. That's probably going to be a C tier. Please, I need to hire bodyguards for this because I know some people are going to be up in flames about it. I love the game. I love Natural Disaster Survival, one of my top 10 Roblox games, but the event is just having the RNG map thing there. It probably makes it lower than these guys, but I still like it. I still liked it. Eat the World. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The normal token was my least favorite out of every single normal token. Yeah, it was a real stinker because it reminded me of the old previous Roblox event games where you had to grind and grind and grind. For the record, you go into this new area, which is very cool, with a giant fat noob who just wants to do nothing but eat things like the gluttonous fool that he is. But you had to feed him. And if you were small, like I was at the very start, you could only pick up these small bits of food, which would give him like 13 points. Then you have to slowly walk to the other side of the map, find another food, come all the way back and feed him again. And you only get like 13 at a time. And then you have to get 1,000. And you walk slowly, you gotta pick up food, come back, bring it to him. I paid to win. I spent literally like 10,000 Robux, something like that. That's what it feels like. I spent 10k Robux to get up my size and my speed, and I was still bored by the time that I finished it. It was the worst one by far. But then, the Mega Token. My God, that was like one of the best ones by far. I was so hyped when I was running through that void area with the egg destroying the map. Oh my God, that was awesome, dude. So that really changed up my opinion of it. But if we're combining the two, it's going to be somewhere in the middle. So I'm probably going to end up putting it in high B tier. Because otherwise, if it was just normal, I'd put it in F tier or E tier. But with that Mega Token, oh my God, that's so much better. Car Crushes 2. Ooh. Derby and... yeah, so we had to basically get enough points in a derby in order to get the normal token. And then for the Mega Token, my God, I don't know how people did it. You had to go into the OG area. Then you had to go into the secret wall. Then you had to win the derby. Then you had to go through all these crushes. But one of the crushes was a landslide far outside of the map. And then the other one was on the OG map. It was a bit confusing. And I didn't really enjoy it that much. I'm going to say this one's a D tier. Yeah. Because, yeah, Car Crushes, I've never really vibed with, like, their event stuff. I'm pretty sure it's almost always been... things like, collect enough points in this, then go here and do that. I did like the volcano jump bit, but that was the only part that I really enjoyed out of it. The rest of it wasn't really as cool for me. So honestly, I'm probably gonna put it in D tier because that's something that I wouldn't really be excited to do again. Yeah. Blade League. So Blade League's normal token was thinking. Oh yeah, play a 2v2 match and score 5 goals. Oh, that was so funny. Okay, I liked it a bit, not like because, you know, it was special or anything, but because I got matched up with this one poor child who was probably like 5 years old and his parents just gave him their phone to play Roblox on. And he was like, he had no chance, man. He was just sitting there sucking his thumb as I was like running circles around him. He really tried his hardest. He was always trying to chase after the ball and deflect it, but his little like baby thumbs were just too young to be able to hit the ball back. Oh man, we really like, we really pulled some moves on top of that poor child. So that was funny. But again, a very average normal token, which I'd probably generally put in C tier. But then the mega event was really good. It was actually really good. Firstly, you had to go into the maps, which, again, a bit like Natural Disaster Survival, pretty generic luck sort of one, because you had to be lucky to get a map that you'd hadn't done before. But then again, if you had like a friend or something, you could ask them to vote for it. So you were a bit less lucky than Natural Disasters, a bit more lucky than, well, less luck-based than Natural Disaster Survival, which is better, but still not perfect. But then that wasn't even really the main section. The main section was afterwards with the boss fight against freaking Galaxy Ogre. Like, I don't know where they came up with the name for Galaxy Ogre or whatever, but that was freaking awesome. I loved that. And the guy was ridiculous. Like, if you watched my stream, I got absolutely dunked on by Galaxy Ogre like 5 times in a row when Crickcraft did it first try. He'd managed to just hit those shots that barely soar over your head and get into the goal really annoyingly. But then in the end, the only way to, the best way to beat Galaxy Ogre was literally just to run at him and spam click until it goes through his nuts and into the goal. So that was pretty cool in the end. I like that they did a unique boss fight for that. That really like changed it up for me. But given the other two things that I talked about, I gotta keep it in B tier. I'm sorry. Bayside. Oh my god, S tier for sure. Crossy Blocks, I loved. It brought me back to my childhood with Crossy Road. That was really cool. And then oh my god, you know what? I really, really liked finding the hints. Did I say Bloxy High? I meant Bayside High. Bayside. Just say Bayside. You know what I mean. Bayside. Drop the Bayside. Bayside, just finding the clues after getting stuck on it for so long, I wasn't even that upset. They were so interesting. It was just such a fascinating thing. And then the whole like mystery leading up to a massive boss fight at the end in Crossy Blocks. Wow, that was sick. I'm probably gonna put it above Dusty Trip as well. I just really, really enjoyed doing the steps for that. I don't know, I really like that despite being stuck. And afterwards as well, I didn't really think that like, oh, you know, this is unfair. Like there was no way that I had ever had a chance of working these hints out myself. At the end, it's like, oh, you know, that's actually, it kind of makes sense. Even like taking the photo in the principal's office kind of made sense because they originally had the mega token with Principal Horatio in there, so it was hinting towards something in the principal's office. And then I believe there was a camera pointed at the thing in the corner. So it was just really, really cool. That was amazing. Regretivator. So the normal token for Regretivator was survive 5 floors, nothing special. But then the mega token, that was quite good. It was quite good. I liked, you know, you go into the attic, you see the safe, and then you had to find those 4 magical, mystical pages, which weren't luck-based, which a lot of people were thinking would happen, but no, they were in every floor, and actually pretty easy to get too. And once you had those, then you decode them, yada, 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 get into the safe, and then you had to find these corrupted fragments. Once you got them, boom, your job's done, you get the mega token. They didn't change anything up crazily, so I'm gonna put it around here because all these other games did some pretty, things that I'd find more interesting, but it was still pretty good. I still liked it. Tower Defense Simulator. Ooh. So like SpongeBob Tower Defense, they had their own map, which is very sick. And then the mega token was finding these words, letters around the map, which would eventually spell out Red Cliff Falls. And I'm so angry about because I found the Red Cliff shield, but my graphics were on low, so I didn't see any letters or anything associated with it. So it wasn't sparkling for me. So I just assumed it was part of the normal map. So I was stupid. I could have had that. It makes me angry. But then the whole mega thing afterwards, and they shut down the servers when people were at like wave 20, which is, so upsetting. But yeah, I'm gonna put it even with SpongeBob Tower Defense. Probably, honestly, a bit lower because SpongeBob had a little like unique thing at the end. But yeah, I'm gonna put them, you know, basically together themselves. Pet Simulator. Pet Simulator. I hate Pet Simulator. Let's talk about Pet Simulator. See, somehow, I don't know why, but every single hunt, Pet Simulator manages to just dump out the most vile, disgusting, stinky, gross event ever. Like every single time, it's either something super grindy, or if they can't do something super grindy, something that takes little effort, or if they do need to put in a little effort, something that's freaking impossible for people to do. The mega token was impossible. It's worse than Infection Gunfight. While I was trying to find the Pet Simulator mega token, I was praying that I was back in Infection Gunfight, back in the good old days where we actually knew what we had to do, but it was just hard to pull off. But with Pet Simulator, I gotta go on a rant about this. That is the worst of the worst. That was awful. Okay, the normal token isn't really that bad. You just do a raid or something and then beat it. But the mega token, you have no idea what to do. You don't know anywhere on the map initially, But you have to go into a raid, which is fair, because people would eventually go into a raid. That's fine. I get that. You go into the raid, and yes, you get to like floor 6 or floor 7 or whatever, and you go to the house. Yeah, sure. And you'll find a message that comes up. Yeah, sure. And if you go to the end, you see a note that like implies that you should say knock knock at the door. Yeah, sure. Makes sense. You go in to the actual treasure room, and this is where things go crazy. Because, I mean, you get letters in there. Which is like, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, it makes sense. The letters are cool. Finding them was fun. They were very well hidden, but I'm still angry about that T. That T was very, very, I'd say too hard to find, but it spells out Gunters. Egg hunters, or Gunters. Like, it's Gunters for sure, which means egg hunters. But then everyone is stuck. You don't know where to go next. And in hindsight, it makes sense, but I really think you can't use hindsight for this. You need to think of as if you were someone just doing the hunt for the first time, because there was zero indication at all of what to do with these letters. Even if you went into the ice room, even if you noticed that there's these letters that really barely resemble the icy room, even if you notice that, like, there's no click indicators. They need click indicators, man, because even when I knew what to do, and I tapped on the G, the U, the N, the T, the E, and the R, it did nothing still. It turns out I had to like tap on each individual fragment, and for some people that didn't even work. Like, if you're not using click indicators, people aren't going to know if their click actually worked. And so when you don't know what to do, if you're just looking for things to try, even if you have the right idea that I'm going to try and spell out Gunters using those icy fragments, it could still not work. And that is the most infuriating thing in the world. And I don't know what that green colored V was meant to be. What am I, Dr. Seuss? Like at the sign at the start. I don't know what it was meant for, because, like, I don't know why it meant, like, 5 in Roman numerals, and I guess there were a lot of 5s in the icy room. Still doesn't really make sense. It would make more sense if it was blue. But yada yada, you get that done. Then you get to the pot, which is like, you need to be lucky for this one. I need more luck. And then is another impossible part, because then, without even knowing what to do, without any prompting besides you need to be more lucky, could be literally anything in the game. You might need to find a little leprechaun at the bottom, but no, you have to click on every single 4-leaf clover in the freaking raid, including the random pictures of 4-leaf clovers on the pots, including the ones on the floor, including the ones on the roof, every single one of them without any click indicators. And I have a feeling, a lot of people speculate, that it allows a lot of exploiters to have a massive advantage, because if they have a software that can detect for places that can be clicked on, they would just know immediately what to do. They'd know that, okay, these clovers must be needed for something later on, and oh, these letters must be needed for something. Oh, that was not a happy, satisfying feeling. Bayside was a happy, satisfying feeling. Pet Simulator, not a happy, satisfying feeling. And it does lead me to be suspicious as well. The fact that Bayside made sense, like, everyone was stuck on Bayside for a huge amount of time, and it made sense because, like, people who were exploiters, you know, it was more riddles about you had to write things on things inside the sign, blah, 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 blah. They couldn't really exploit to find clicks on that. But then Pet Simulator got done fairly quickly, like within half an hour to an hour, when everyone else spent like 3 hours on it. All I'm saying is, hey, I don't want to be the one waggling the sausage in front of the man, but yeah, bit weird. But yeah, I wasn't really happy about that. It didn't give me a satisfying feeling afterwards, even like finding out what to do. Like, I hate it when you like find out what to do and then you're like, oh yeah, no way I would have gotten that either. Especially, I should do a tier list of the Roblox clues for the games, because like that basketball one, come on, man. You need basketball knowledge in order to solve that. Like, they had a picture of a hat, a picture of a bird, and a picture of the sky, and they basically related to famous basketball nicknames, but I would never have gotten that in a million years, so yeah, it was rough. Anyway, let's move on to Drive World. They had, I liked their normal token. Their normal token was cool. I loved doing the obbies. That was really sick already. And then the Mega Hunt token, was a bit less sick, to be honest. I like how they had the UFOs crashed around, but oh god, that ball thing was really annoying, man. I hated the ball thing. But then, you know, putting in the passcode, not too bad. I'm gonna put it second best in B tier. Like, honestly, the mega token would bring it a bit down further, but just the normal token for itself, it being like the whole obby, was actually really cool. So I'm putting it up there. Boxing game. I really like the 2 boxing fights with the 2 bosses. That was really sick. And the mega token. Oh. When you know what to do, it's good. But I think it was. There was no indication that there was like this rope that you had to be on top of one of the things and you had to be facing the right way in order to see it. Type thing. But then again, it was a small map, so what else were they really supposed to do? But yeah, and then it was that infinite stamina thing really glitched me out. And you guys don't know this because I wasn't streaming in the last day because I was actually going for the $1 million. It was stressful. This is where I fell behind literally everybody in the world. Because I got to that stamina thing before Creekcraft did. Literally like 10 minutes with my hunting group. Shout out the Devown Mega Hunting group. I got there like 10 minutes before he did. And I was still there 30 minutes after he was already onto the next game. Because every single time, I was in a public server, I should have gone to a private server, but I was like, okay, maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Every single time I did that, I would dash for the whole minute, and then it'd run out and I'd fall down to the ground and like die of oxygen deprivation in the Roblox void. Then I go and do it again, fall down, dive, like for an entire half an hour. Like, it was so rough, man. It was terrible. But I don't want to let that affect my opinion of it because, you know, it was just me and it was a bug in the public server. So, I'm going to put that a bit higher than I would because I like the boss fight at the end and I like the maze. Like, I swept through that very, very quickly. Having that boss fight was very, very cool. I'm going to probably put it up here in B tier. Yeah, second top of B tier, above Drive World. Oh, I just realized. Oh, man. Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh, dear. Oh, God. They look similar. Oh, no. I just mixed up Clip It with It Girl. Oh, no. And now everybody in the comments is going to be like, you chose Clip It instead of It Girl back at like 5 minutes 42 timestamped on the video. Oh, man, no one's going to watch till this long, so no one's going to see that I'm going to correct my mistake. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so upsetting. Oh, man. Yeah, I've realized that I got it wrong. Sorry, guys. Didn't, that 2, like, cute Roblox babes on the cover. I should have realized that likes, comments, and shares were Clip It, but then It Girl also makes sense. Ugh. Okay, let's fix that. So, that's It Girl. Clip It! Normal token was, oh god, the normal token. Oh, I hated it, dude. I hated it. The normal token was probably the second worst normal token of all of them. I hated, and it was only 10 clips that you had to watch, but I hated watching every single one of those, man. If you're not a fan of Clip It already, my god, that is some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I literally tried to game it by swiping through until I saw like a noob looking dude who'd only have the clip for like 4 seconds because they're doing it for the hunt. Bless those people, because everything else was like these kids thought they were making a full feature-length David Attenborough documentary. Those clips would go on for like 3 minutes and I'd be so bored out of my mind. My chat was screaming at me to stop it. They were practically begging me to just end the event and stop going for the $1 million because of these clips. It was so bad. Like, if you actually waited through every single one of those clips, oh, it would have taken you freaking 10 Buzz Lightyears in order to do. Oh, God. That was bad. But then the Mega Token, it really wasn't too shabby. Like, honestly, a pretty good Mega Token. But, yeah, just needing to do that was rough, that normal thing. The Mega Token does bring it back, but, yeah, now that I think about it, the normal token... but bottom of C tier. And finally, that brings us to fish. Oh boy. Fish was good. The normal token, average. You know, catch 5 fish, do this, you know, kiss this man, make out with the shark. That sort of the quest. And then the mega token was very cool as well. It's actually interesting. You go to the fisherman and then he's like, go Cthulhu. Then you do the totems and you go in and you do the maze and you do the fish melody. And then you get the mega token. That was sick. I liked that. Nothing crazy. I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. But again, nothing crazy. It wasn't like... Oh, but it was pretty good. I did like that extra fish area, and I did like the puzzle. And it wasn't RNG based because you catch the fish in like a set order. So I really appreciate that fish did that, and they didn't be like, oh, you know, you have a 1 in 8 chance of catching the fish that you need. Oh, yeah. But is it A tier? Because the normal token was so mid. It was very mid, and then that one was quite special. Oh, but that one was, I'm gonna put that, yeah, I'm gonna put it, I do like fish a lot, but I put it, okay, I'm gonna put this second in the B tier category. I really love the mega token, but the normal token, it wasn't really it. Although if I'm gonna have It Girl there, and World Zero, yeah, I'll put it low A. I did like it a lot. It was pretty good. And there you go. That's my tier list of everything. Let me move away in case you want to, you know, screenshot that, put it on top of like put it in a golden frame and put that on your wall with me here. That would be beautiful. But yeah, but dude, while I was talking about that, there was a couple of things that I wanted to mention about things, and basically, I've forgotten because I didn't talk about it at the time, but I know it'll come back to me. It was a really cool event. I really loved every single game for participating in it. Yes, even Pet Simulator. Yes, even Infection Gunfight. I was ranting about those, but honestly, like, I wouldn't really change this event because it was still amazing. Thinking about it, it was one of the most fun weeks that I've ever had. It was just so fun. It was getting me emotional thinking about this. It was so good. All the fun time spent like with the community looking for everything. It just felt like it really brought the community together. Who knew? All Roblox needed to do was offer up $1 million as a cash prize, and we'd all actually be interested in the events. Yeah, like shout out to every single game that was on here. Yeah, again, even Infection Gunfight and Pet Simulator, because like, all of them putting in work to these mega tokens is just so amazing. Like, I don't think they got paid to do this. It's just so cool. I loved everything that happened. It was great. It was really good. My only concern is exploiters. And I feel like exploiters could have given their friends such a big advantage. Like, I know people are getting disqualified in Roblox right now for exploiting, but I have a feeling that exploiters could have just told their friends, like, oh, hey, blah, 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 that this is here, you got to click on these in Pet Simulator, and the friend who isn't exploiting goes through, does it, and then they get further forward, and Roblox, like, they should seize that they're not exploiting because, you know, oh, they can't be exploiting, like, they didn't actually exploit, and then they get through. So, I don't know. I have a feeling that that could have given some people unfair advantages. But again, I wouldn't change that. Like, if it was either do this event again or don't do this event again, like, I would happily embrace it all over again with all new games. Which, by the way, I'm surprised Piggy wasn't in there. Like, that's kind of crazy, because Piggy is like the event game. Anyway, Piggy's mega token would have been like impossible. But yeah, I just loved every single game of this, and it was so fun. Overall, like, honestly, 10 out of 10 event. I loved it so much. Even with my rants, it was still beautiful. The best thing Roblox has ever done. I haven't come from a Roblox event, like, ever this excited and this hyped. So Roblox did such a good job with it all. And I really appreciate everyone that was there with me throughout it. And everyone that's watching this right now. Like, it was, yeah, you guys really made it even more worth it. And like, as people were saying, you know, the real $1 million truly was the friends that we made along the way. So I really hope Roblox does this like yearly or, you know, every 2 years or something. Because my God, this was so good. I love it. 10 out of 10 event. Honestly, the best event in Roblox history for me. I loved it. Incredible. Anyway, if you like the event too, smash like and subscribe. And shout out smaller creators like Devound Gaming. Go check that out. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye!